Hi everybody. Trying something new. I'm here with Brenda. Brenda and I got together several years ago. I'm going to have her tell you her story. I'm not going to tell her story. So please listen. I'd like to know what it means to you. And I'm going to introduce Brenda, and I'm going to let Brenda tell you her story. Thank you. Brenda?
Hi, Bob. Well, May 4th, 2015, I had a house fire. My 19-year-old son, Ronnie, was sleeping when I left the house to go to the store. And an electrical fire broke out. And my son died of smoke inhalation and carbon monoxide poisoning. He was a non-active firefighter with the Arlington Fire Department. So it was just kind of strange that this happened. But I'm still having a hard time, and through a mutual, I don't know if you'd say friend, but...
Yeah, she's a friend.
A friend, yeah. Well, we have a mutual friend, Bob and I was talking with her, and I'm having a hard time, and she suggested, I talk to somebody, and I guess she got in touch with Bob, and Bob told me to call him, and I did. And
she actually contacted me on Facebook.
Right.
That's how we first met, was through Facebook, just so you know.
Right, and as far as I know, she didn't say anything, just that, I was having a difficult time, and I did call you. You called me, I'm sorry.
Tell you, what Gianna, Gianna was her name. What she told me was that her friend lost everything in the fire. That's all she said. And could I talk to her? She didn't have anything. She was hurting. Would I mind coming up to Poughkeepsie? It's about 45 minutes from here. I reached out to Brenda. Brenda got in touch with me. And go ahead, Brenda.
Right, we spoke on the phone for a very long time. I couldn't believe what you were saying. And then you came up to my home, and we met, and we spoke more. I can't tell you how much it's helped me. You know that because I tell you. I'm gonna get emotional.
Brenda's been very appreciative, and it's very difficult. When people lose children, there's always a piece missing. All I can do is help them get through their day-to-day. I can't help them get over it, as it's been put by some. That's just not possible. And Brenda's story was heart-wrenching. She was taken advantage of by a firefighter, and she was put into a bad place and lived that hell for 18 months, thinking that she started the fire that took her son's life. So,
yeah, that was very difficult, but our insurance company hired our own fire investigator, and they said that it was electrical. And how you knew where that outlet was when you've never been to my home that burned, I'll never know, but the way that you were saying the movie was playing,
right.
I don't know how you could do that, because you knew where the outlet was, where the couch was, you knew where the garbage can was, like you just knew the whole layout of the living room, which is where it started. And so it was only until I talked to you that I could finally say maybe I didn't start the fire. But I did believe that I did. It's very difficult because a firefighter died the next day trying to save my son's life. And I don't know, you know my state of mind. I feel like I gotta blame myself in some way. Like what I could have done, what I should have done, whatever, but you've helped me see all that there wasn't anything I could do. If I could have, I would have done it.
Absolutely. You can't. People tend to blame themselves, and what had happened here, just to fill you in a little bit, a firefighter who claimed he was injured in the fire blamed Brenda for throwing her ashtray into the garbage. I was seeing that outlet she just spoke about with like a flamethrower, flames coming through, and I told her that was it, and she was saying no, and she continued to try to blame herself. But the souls, especially her son, and that other firefighter was with me too. through them, we found out that that firefighter was gaming the system. He was trying to get money from the insurance here. Okay? So, just to fill you in a little bit more on it, but I want Brenda to tell you how she felt and how when we got together. And we've talked for several years now, on and off. And Brenda does not take advantage of my offer to talk to me more often. Okay? And right now, and I don't want to do this to her, but I told her just prior to starting this video, her son's very proud of her because she's come a long way and she's doing the best she can to live her life every day. Okay? So, go ahead, Brenda.
Well, it was terrible thinking that I started the fire. I was diagnosed with PTSD after I got some help after the fire, because I'm still having a very difficult time with the loss of my son. But I'm his mom, so.
Of course.
This is just what life is going to be like. I can laugh, I can smile. I have 2 other children, 3 grandchildren. I'm grateful every day for them. But Ronnie's not here, and I'm always aware of that. I mean, he is here, but I can't see him or touch him or anything. But the only way I can make it is because I know he's here with me, thanks to you. And he does give me signs. But my husband, I felt terrible for because he was telling me I didn't start the fire. He was telling me, the fire investigator said, it was electrical, and I just had to blame myself, until I met you. And then my poor husband was just, thank you, God, thank you for you. He really was, and I felt bad because it's not that I didn't believe my husband, but I didn't believe my husband. I don't know. They just put it in my head, that I did, and I think if I can make myself feel terrible, it's what I deserve, because, I couldn't save my son, but I think that I do believe in God, and I think that my son was leaving that day regardless, because the fire made no sense. Chocolate candy is literally feet away from my son that never melted. But yet, Ronnie died in there. So that's why it helps to know that, I'm not the creator, so somebody overruled me. I'm not happy about it. I've made as many deals as I can. I've said, you're God. Just bring them back and we'll just let it go, but it's not going to happen. So, I hang on to you. I don't want to bother you all the time.
But that's not...
And I know it's not. You tell me. I know, and you're so genuine and everything, but, I feel like I'm just being repetitive, and I just don't want to waste your time or anything. And I'm thinking, well, my son, if he needed to get a message to me, he'd probably pester the heck out of you.
But sometimes we need to talk.
Yeah.
You need to get it out and not wait for him. It's what I do for people that are in particularly bad places. I offer support sessions, and that's what I've offered to you. And probably when this is over, I don't want to do this on video, I'm going to give Brenda some more messages from Ronnie. But I appreciate Brenda sitting here talking to you, giving you an idea of what happened and her experience with me. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me through my Facebook or my webpage. But is there anything else you want to say, Ronnie?
The only thing that I want to say, Bob, is that you are just a very kind man. And I'm not sure if you even know how much you helped me. And I will always be grateful for that. I would do absolutely anything for you. I wish that people, I know people are scared, because I was scared too, but you're so genuine, and it's been about 3 years now, I think, for you and I, and the things that you have told me as time's gone on, just out of nowhere, they like make sense. Something will come to me, oh God, Bob told me that 6 months ago or something. And it amazes me, you know, so you let me have that connection with my son. And that makes me be able to get through another day, because he's not really gone forever, you know, he's still here.
He's definitely here. He's definitely a strong soul. He's here for his mother. But the relationship has just changed, and that's what goes on. Again, you know, this is a mother that lost a child, and there's no coming back from that. We can only just deal with it the best we can, and Brenda's doing a pretty good job at it. I'm glad to be a part of her life, and I've been very, very proud to know her, and she has been very supportive of me. I mean, extremely supportive. I can't thank her enough. And I know she thanks me for what I do, but it's just what I do. I don't know how else to put it. So,
You're not telling the whole story, because on the day that you came up here, the day that you and I met in person, you said that you were having some doubts as to, you know, why are you here and what's your purpose and everything. And after our session, it became clear to you what your purpose is and just how much you help people. So it was really strange how that day you helped me so much, and yet I couldn't believe that you would be in doubt of what would your purpose be, but you saw what it was, because you clearly saw that I was falling apart, you know, and I remember we were talking on the way out to your car, talking at the car. We couldn't seem to go away, you know, but it was just so much to say, but you left here really knowing how important you are to a lot of people. So, and I'm glad.
thank you.
I'm very glad. You definitely, you have a wonderful purpose. You help people.
I try.
You
know.
do.
I always have that doubt. I don't want to let people down, you know, and that's the most important thing. And every time I sit, and so far, I was told when I first came out, I've had this gift my whole life, as I've told you a number of times. I was told when I first came out that and started doing this with people like Brenda, that there would be people I couldn't read. I call it, you know, session, not reading, but that has never happened, because I don't let people talk to me. Brenda didn't tell me anything until I got here, and it was Ronnie who told me everything she needed, not her. And I'm very cautious about that. And that gives me the confidence I need, and perhaps I'm maybe a little too, incompetent with what I do, but I just don't, that comes from not wanting to let people down.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes from how important it is to help people like yourself and others to get some kind of closure or some kind of step up, you know, so they can live day to day, especially for your grandchildren and your other children. We can't forget about them.
No.
And that's important. And the souls don't want us to forget about them. You know?
Well, and no, I didn't tell you anything. That's why when you were here, and we were talking about the fire, and you were saying, you know, it wasn't my fault, or I can't remember right now what you were saying, but I was crying even harder because I was telling myself, you don't understand that I believe I started the fire. And you were sitting here like, I'm telling you, he's okay, and so I don't understand, why are you, you know, getting hysterical, you know? And then, I don't know how we got to it, but I somehow you figured it out that I thought I started the fire. And then you were like, oh, no, no, no. And that's when you said about the movie playing and what you see.
Right.
And I was like, oh, so relieved, because, yeah, I know I'm not supposed to say anything to you, and so I was like, oh, I was going to burst, really. But I was like, no, you're not supposed to be on. and you were just, telling me that, this is what happened. I was thinking, he doesn't realize that it was probably me that did it. And of course, even if it was, my son is probably forgiving me, but I'll never forgive myself. So I don't know how you figured it out, but you did. But it was hard being quiet.
I don't figure it out. They tell me.
Yeah, they tell
Okay,
you,
and
right?
they played
right.
that movie, and I'll never forget that movie with that outlet. I told you, it was like a blowtorch of flames, and I know that's not what happened, but I had to believe that that's what happened, and you kept saying, no, it's not. And after, I do remember this, and after we were done, I said, so what happened? Because I'm telling you, that was clear. And you told me that the firefighter, one in particular,
It was two, actually.
it was two,
Yeah.
okay, that you threw your ashes in the garbage and that they weren't out. That was absolutely not true, and I saw that. Absolutely wrong, okay? They shouldn't have said anything. Well, one was gaming the system, because the firefighter died in the fire was with me saying, check that guy out, check that guy out. And I think we checked him out later on. I found he hurt his back prior to the fire.
Yeah.
And if he could make it your fault, he would have gotten more money.
Yeah, they
And
would
that's
have gotten it
sad,
for
by the way,
negligence,
folks,
yeah.
that people do that.
Which
And
I can't believe.
unfortunately, that's what happens. And so when Brenda just absolutely kind of still refused to believe what I was seeing about that blowtorch coming out of the outlet, I had asked her, I said, okay, what was the fire department's report? And she told me inconclusive. I said, okay, so there had to be a scientist here. What was his finding? And she said, faulty outlet. And I'm like, well, what did I just tell you? And, I didn't know that prior to our talking.
No.
And it was, by the way, it was hard convincing her. She didn't want to believe. She wants to, hold on to her pain that she did it, but we're not going to let her do that. The souls will not let her blame herself for this. They just won't. And I'm telling you, you won't.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I believe it now that I didn't. It's just like when I'm upset, if I'm upset for some reason or another, or I'm stressed out, that's when I start to think about it, but I try and squash it right away. But and even the firefighter that died the next day, trying to save my son's life, it was his family that wanted to sue me for negligence. His family and then two other firefighters. And I come from a firefighter family. I told you, my dad, my son Ronnie, had completed his training. He just was not on active duty. And so to think that a firefighter would do that, just...
Firefighters, service people, I have to take what I get to hear, like everybody says when I tell some people about grandmothers. Well, weren't all grandmothers like that? And no, I actually had a client that had two grandmothers that hated kids. So how could I do that?
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to live, this new life, even though it's been over 4 years. It's new to me. I'm not really comfortable in my own skin, but, that's who I am, I mean, I don't have a career. I was a stay-at-home mom, so living without one of my children is very foreign to me. It's very hard. I don't know how to make less than 2 pounds of pasta. It's just me and my husband, the kids are all moved out, so even when it's me and Brian, I don't know how to make 2 chicken breasts. I have to make the family pack and tell myself the kids will come for the leftovers. But the kids, they have their own lives, so the chicken breast usually gets thrown out. But, I'm trying, I'm trying.
Well, don't try, do it.
Yeah, I do.
I'm here to help you.
Yep.
Take advantage of it. You're good people. You've been there for me. You're one of the first people I saw, not the first, but within that coming out, and your support, and you allowed me to use your name. I always change names, by the way, but Brenda always said it's okay to use her name. She's always been that supportive. So I thank you very much.
Of course, I'll always be supportive of you. Always. Always. I owe you a lot.
No, you don't owe me anything. It's what
I
I
know.
do.
That's who you are. You
Okay.
don't take nothing and whatever, and you're a very good person. Very good.
Thank you for doing this, Brenda. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you understand her pain. I hope you understand that maybe there's somebody out there you know or you yourself are in pain, and will reach out for me to help you. That's what I'm here for. All right, we're going to leave it there, and I'll talk to you again. And hopefully this works out. I hope you like this. I have 2 other people willing to talk to me. Thanks again. Talk to you later. Bye.